My brothers and sisters, one of the greatest mistakes many of us make today is that we share too much, our lives, our plans, our emotions, our struggles, with people who neither care nor can help. We live in a time where privacy is undervalued and attention has become the new currency. But remember, not every listener is your well-wisher. Some may smile at your story, but deep down, they are waiting to see you fall. When you open your heart to the world, you open the door for unnecessary opinions, jealousy, and even evil eyes. Protect yourself. Keep some things between you and your Lord. Not every achievement needs to be announced. Not every pain needs to be explained. The more you share, the more you expose your peace. Privacy is one of the most beautiful blessings that Allah has given us, yet we often don't realize its value until it's lost. When you learn to keep your matters private, you protect not only your peace but also your dignity and faith. In today's world, we are constantly tempted to share everything. Our joys, our sorrows, our achievements, even our personal challenges. We feel the need to announce every step we take, thinking that others will be happy for us. But the truth is, not everyone who hears your story wishes you well. Some may pretend to care, but deep down, their hearts may hold jealousy or ill feelings. That's why protecting your privacy is not just wisdom, it's a form of self-respect and spiritual discipline. When Allah grants you a blessing, such as a new opportunity, a relationship, or a personal success, it's between you and Him. The moment you share it with the wrong people, you may invite their envy or negative thoughts. The Prophet taught us about the evil eye. It is real, and it can affect a person's happiness, health, and even success. Sometimes, it's not magic or misfortune that causes things to go wrong. It's simply that we expose too much of our life to others who didn't wish the same goodness for us. Keeping certain things private protects you from unseen harm and unnecessary drama. Privacy also builds strength in character. A person who can keep things within themselves learns patience, maturity, and self-control. When you don't feel the urge to share everything, you live with a sense of calm and confidence. You no longer depend on people's approval or applause. You depend on Allah's guidance and acceptance. You don't need to prove your worth by showing what you have. You know that Allah sees your effort, and that's enough. We must remember that even the most sincere people have limits. They cannot always understand your pain, nor can they solve your problems. Sometimes, when you share your struggles too openly, it leads to gossip, judgment, or even pity, none of which bring peace. But when you confide in Allah, He listens without judgment, without exposing you, and without ever turning away. That's the beauty of keeping your matters between you and Him. My brothers and sisters, guard your life like a precious jewel. You don't leave a treasure chest open for everyone to touch, so why leave your personal life open for everyone to comment on? Protect your emotions, your dreams, your relationships, and your private conversations. Not everything deserves an audience. The world doesn't need to know your every move. Only Allah does. When you embrace privacy, you embrace peace. You become stronger, wiser, and more focused on what truly matters: your connection with your Creator. So value this blessing, because once your privacy is gone, your peace soon follows. Oversharing has become one of the silent destroyers of inner peace. We live in an age where people feel the need to express every detail of their lives to the world. What they are doing, where they are going, and even what they are feeling. It seems harmless, but when you expose too much of your personal life, you unknowingly invite judgment, criticism, and envy from others. Not everyone views your blessings with a pure heart. Some people compare, others compete, and some begin to wish that your success was theirs. That is when jealousy begins to grow, and with it comes unnecessary negativity that disturbs your peace and blessings. When you overshare, you make your life open to countless opinions. Suddenly, everyone feels entitled to give advice, to question your choices, or to comment on your life. You might hear things that plant doubt in your heart or weaken your confidence. What was once a simple decision becomes a burden, because now you are worried about what others think. The more voices you let into your private space, the less peace you will find in your soul. True peace comes when you limit those voices and focus on what truly matters: your relationship with Allah and your inner contentment. There are also moments when sharing too much invites not just opinions but harm. When people know too much about your life, they may use that information against you. Some may reveal your secrets, twist your words, or gossip about your situation. Even if you trust them, human hearts change, and not everyone who smiles at you today will protect you tomorrow. That's why wisdom lies in silence. When your life is private, others can only guess, but they cannot interfere. Your privacy becomes a shield, a protection from the jealousy, curiosity, and interference of others. Oversharing also steals the beauty of sincerity. When you constantly feel the need to announce your good deeds, achievements, or struggles, it becomes less about gratitude and more about validation. You begin to seek comfort in likes, comments, or approval instead of seeking the pleasure of Allah. True believers do good quietly. They let their actions speak, not their words. The sweetness of doing something sincerely for Allah is lost when you make it public for attention. My dear brothers and sisters, not everything needs to be shared. There is wisdom in silence and grace in privacy. When you keep your personal life to yourself, you guard your peace, your dignity, and your blessings. Remember that not everyone deserves access to your heart or your story. The less people know, the more peace you'll have. Let your relationship with Allah be your safe space, where you pour out your emotions, your fears, and your gratitude. The world doesn't need to hear your every thought. Allah already knows it all, and that in itself is enough. Not everyone who listens to you truly wishes you well. This is one of life's hardest but most important lessons to understand. We often assume that the people around us, our friends, relatives, colleagues, all have pure intentions toward us. We believe that if we share our plans, our dreams, or our struggles, they will celebrate us, support us, and pray for us. But reality is different. Some people only listen out of curiosity, not care. Some listen to compare, not to help. And some smile to your face while silently hoping that you fail. It is not that everyone is evil, but human hearts are weak and easily affected by jealousy, competition, or pride. When you share too much with people who don't sincerely wish you well, you hand them the keys to your peace. They begin to know your weaknesses, your fears, and your desires, and not everyone will handle that information with kindness. Some may use it to gossip, to judge you, or even to feel superior. The moment your life becomes an open book, people start writing their own opinions on its pages, opinions that might hurt your confidence and distract you from your purpose. That's why wisdom lies in knowing what to share and with whom. A wise person observes who truly celebrates them, who remains silent in their success, and who disappears in their struggles. Jealousy is a real test of the heart. Even good people can fall into it without realizing. You might tell someone about your new opportunity, and they may congratulate you with their lips while their heart burns with envy. The evil eye is real, and its roots lie in jealousy. It is not always about hatred. Sometimes it's about admiration mixed with envy. That's why we are taught to seek Allah's protection from the evil eye and to avoid exposing our blessings unnecessarily. The less you reveal, the less you invite unwanted energy into your life. You must also understand that your value does not increase by making others aware of your story. Your strength is in your silence. Some of the most peaceful and successful people are those who quietly work on their goals. Share their plans only with Allah and let results speak for themselves. They don't seek validation, they seek progress. They don't need to explain every decision, they trust the one who guides them. My brothers and sisters, not every ear deserves your secrets. Not every smile is sincere. Protect yourself by keeping certain parts of your life sacred. Share only what is necessary and let the rest remain between you and your Creator. When you rely less on people's understanding and more on Allah's plan, your heart finds peace. So learn to walk quietly, pray deeply, and keep your circle small. Not everyone who listens is your friend, but Allah always listens with mercy and care. Silence is one of the most powerful qualities a believer can develop. In a world that constantly encourages you to speak, to post, to explain, and to defend, silence has become a forgotten virtue. Yet, it is within silence that peace, dignity, and wisdom grow. When you learn to stay quiet about certain things, your plans, your blessings, your struggles, you create a boundary that protects your heart from unnecessary noise and negativity. Not everything requires a response. Not every situation deserves an explanation. Sometimes the most graceful answer is silence. When you remain silent, you give yourself space to think, to reflect, and to act wisely. Many times people get into trouble because they speak in haste, revealing things that later become a source of regret. A word spoken in the wrong moment can cause a storm, but silence never harms. Silence gives you control over your emotions and allows you to respond with wisdom instead of impulse. Even the Prophet advised us, whoever believes in Allah and the last day should speak good or remain silent. This shows that silence is not weakness. It is strength guided by faith. Silence also preserves dignity. When you stop explaining your life to everyone, you stop inviting unnecessary opinions. You no longer feel pressured to justify your actions or prove your worth. You understand that people will think what they want to think, and that's fine. You can't control their tongues, but you can control your own. True dignity is when you can stay calm while others are busy speaking about you. The one who remains silent holds power, because silence confuses those who seek to provoke you. It shows maturity and self-control, qualities that bring honor and respect. Another beauty of silence is that it keeps your intentions pure. When you do good deeds quietly, without seeking recognition or praise, Allah alone becomes your witness. Your efforts are hidden from people but rewarded openly by Him. The more silent you become about your good, the more sincere your heart becomes. Remember, the most beautiful actions are the ones done in secret. The prayers prayed in the night, the charity given without announcement, the forgiveness granted without pride. Silence also protects relationships. Many misunderstandings and arguments arise simply because people talk too much. When you choose silence over reaction, you protect your peace and avoid unnecessary conflict. Sometimes silence is the best answer to disrespect. You don't need to respond to everything that provokes you. You rise above it by staying calm. My brothers and sisters, silence is not emptiness. It is wisdom. It keeps your heart pure, your mind clear, and your life peaceful. Speak when necessary, stay silent when it's wise, and let your actions be your loudest message. The quieter you become, the more you hear, not the voices of people, but the guidance of Allah.